Hey guys, Terry here. Hey, it's been a while since I did a scrapbooking video, so I was thinking if you've got a senior this year, I really want to suggest to you that you start putting together your scrapbook. I've seen so many moms wait till springtime to start putting together that scrapbook. Don't be that mom. So I highly recommend that you are starting to think about doing their scrapbooks. If you're going to make a scrapbook for like their senior party and have all their school pictures, now's the time before the holidays, before all the spring planning for parties and prom and all that stuff's going on. You're going to be so busy in the springtime on their senior year, so it's really time now to do this before the holidays. So I'll have a link to my webpage where I've got some simple steps for you to follow to get those school books together. So I think what I want to show you is some ideas that I did in my kids' school book. First of all, you're going to have to pull together all their school photos, right? So if you've bought those professional school pictures, I don't know where you've got them stored. Maybe you've got them in a shoebox, and that's fine. But somehow go through the house and pull together all those school pictures. And there's so many companies that make sets of, that either make the albums and then have the pages for the kindergarten through 12th grade. So this is from Creative Memories, and this was years ago. I'm sure they've got something newer. But these, having these pages and pulling your pictures together really makes the book go together quickly. And then you're going to sprinkle in it other things that they have. Like at the daycare, they had done a little ID card that had their thumbprint on it. But just some artwork. I shrunk down some of their favorite artwork, stuff that had their writing on it. I went to the Xerox machine and shrunk it down, and then I put a matting on it just to add some color to the page. So that's a great way to just remember things that they made. I recommend to new moms that if they've got a big, poster or something they made, take their picture of them holding that poster and then put that picture in there. And then a few months later, that poster can disappear. But having their school photo and those types of memories by grade is a great way to start a school book. So, and I'll tell you what, for moms that haven't been scrapbooking along the way, what's really nice is go through some old pictures and just do a collage. I mean, I think it's just fun to see, the baby growing and see that over time. So I think sometimes we forget that you don't have to scrap every month, every day. Just pull those out and do a nice collage and show. I think it's fun to show the baby changing over time. So don't forget that that's possible. But yeah, I just really recommend getting this stuff organized by those grades. If you've got some papers that ask for their friends' names, their activities, what their teacher's name was. And again, awards and certificates can be shrunken down, printed this way, either on photo paper or just plain paper. I never worried about, it being acid free or something. It's not touching my photos. And mat it for color. And just, try to jot down things that you remember. If you don't remember, then just say what grade it was. When I started scrapbooking, I didn't know what grade some of these were in. I went by what they looked like in the picture and compared it to their school photos. So some things like sports or music programs, it's really nice to have their team picture. If you jot down the kids' names with the photo, that's great. Or even just slide a roster of the kids, or maybe the season scores when they're older. Just put it in the page behind it with a little tab or something so they can pull out, those different sports and stuff that they were in. Music programs, those are another nice thing to slip inside. Another thing I'll say is when you're doing your book and you're working your way up to 12th grade, just have some placeholders for the prom and for awards ceremonies and for graduation. If you've got those placeholders and maybe the paper picked out for those backgrounds, then you're just going to quickly print some 4x6s and sprinkle those pictures in there. So it's ready. I had them on display at their senior party. So if you don't get that far, that's fine too. It's fun to go back and look at the old school pictures. But you know, there's just a lot of stuff that happens that senior year, and it's just really fun to capture those on there. Don't worry about doing 1,000,000 pages. I mean, I think it's fun to just, here's Brittany and band, so I think it's fun to just, you know, I didn't have all the competitions they did, but I had a page of, you know, here was your senior year and what you did. So, so focus on that. If you have time, you might sprinkle in trips that you did in amongst those school pictures, or it can just be a book about school. I like to include some of their artwork. This is one that I made a copy of it and matted it. This was an artwork that my son drew, and I just put it on the page. Again, sprinkled it in amongst those school pictures and things that we did. If there's a funny story, write that journaling on there. Get the pictures done and then maybe start the journaling later if you have time. Don't worry about that part. So just different events that they did. Get those pictures glued down and in the scrapbook. So you might have pictures. Here's another one where they had a school picnic. I think I volunteered for that one of the rare times I volunteered and took pictures. And then, you know, just shrink those awards down. It doesn't have to take up the whole page, or put a pocket in there where you've got all those things sprinkled in there. So it's really fun to look back over the pages. They don't have to be fancy. The simpler, the better. Matting adds a lot to the page. I'll have links on my website to 12 by 12 albums. I do like that size. You can put a lot on the page. I'll have links to some 12 by 12 paper, and then I'll also have links to some supplies. Like I like Tombow tape runner, a Fiskars paper cutter, paper trimmer, and stuff like that. It doesn't take a lot. The hard part's going to be pulling together the photos, getting them sorted by age. If you have some of that paper, like I said, that has the years on it, that's really handy to, you know, there's ephemera too that just has the grades on it, and then some fun little stickers and stuff. Something that just helps you put them in order and tell that story. So I hope this helped a little bit. I hope it's inspiration. You might be feeling overwhelmed. Just do what you can. Pull the pictures together. Get them in the books. And people will love looking at it. And I'll tell you what, in the future, I mean, my kids are grown now, so they love, you know, and their kids are pulling out the books and seeing what's in there. So, you know, kind of think about what memories you have of your childhood and what you wished you had in a book. Or maybe you're fortunate enough to have it in a book. But I think of toys that I played with, and games, and neighbor kids that we played with. You know, just sprinkle that stuff in there so that they've got something to look back on and remember those things. So if you're like me, I had totes of stuff for the cool kids, and I had to go through totes and just kind of whittle it down. And I still have some bins. Like I still have a little bit of their school stuff. And my kids, Brandon's 34. And I still have some stuff that's memory stuff that I've been meaning to go through this and now add it back into their scrapbook. You can do that stuff later. Right now you just want to get those kindergarten through 12th grade things into a book and have those memories. And then, you know, later in life you can be adding these, or you can get rid of this tote too. So I do mean to go through here and sprinkle some stuff into their books and get rid of it. This is the last of their totes. So I think I kept everything when the kids were growing up. So I hope this helps. I hope it's inspiring. Like I said, on my blog post that I'll have a link below to, it'll have links to some handy Amazon stuff that may come in handy. If you find it handy, great. I make a few pennies when you buy something using my links. So I just appreciate you watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye, guys.